Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 442 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios. Matt still on vacation out in the big C bus, Ohio, Midwest Matt. You know the vibes. So I am joined from the Pitts Cave, making his Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube debut, our fantasy football analyst and bringer of good vibes, Pat Pitts.
Thank you, Kyle. It's great to be back. Also, you didn't say champion. I'm a champion of the Loaded Box. I don't think. Let me go right side. I am the champion of the Loaded Box podcast. That was failed to be mentioned, just like a lot of other stuff. But you know, that's what I'm back to talk Philly sports. You know what? It's nice to hop back on the mic and not have to defend myself like in a Infinity War saga about my takes for the year and whatnot about fantasy football. I can relax. Let's just shoot the shit about whatever's going on in the sports verse. And it seems like from what we were saying off screen, you have had an exciting couple of hours or 24 hours.
Yeah, about good little energetic 24 hours. And we got a lot to dive into on this episode, which we'll let you know what we're talking about in just a little bit. But before we get started, make sure you're following us on the socials. You see them going below at Underground PHI on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow Pitts on Twitter at Pat_Pitts. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. We recently, up until today, we're in the top 100 on the Armenian sports charts. And at one point, we're ahead of the Skip Bayless show. So Armenia loves us. Shout out to the Armenians.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Not a big deal.
They love us, Uncle Skip. What can I say? And of course, leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Trying to get these subscribers up. We can't get a custom link to say, oh, go to youtube.com/undergroundsportsphi until you subscribe. We got to hit that 1,000 subscriber threshold. So keep subscribing to the YouTube channel. Be a friend, tell a friend. Smash the like button. Click the bell icon. Comment down below. All that good stuff. We got a lot of fun topics to talk about tonight. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, Mark Ronchetti CPA LLC, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Of course, guys, it's summertime fine right now. You got to protect your eyes when you're outdoors. Pitts, I'm sure you've been outside a ton, and the only thing we're rocking is Tomahawk Shades.
That's all I do.
You guys can go to tomahawkshades.com and use our code USP at checkout for 25% off your order. And Pitts, that now includes the Tomahawk RX subscription lenses, now available, tomahawkshades.com. I did a little math for the people.
Nice.
You put the most expensive prescription lens, frame, everything in your cart, right? It's about $140, which even so, on the prescription level of things, I've been told that's not too shabby.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So, yeah.
So then, when you go and put in promo code USP at checkout, it knocks it down to not only getting free shipping because it's over $75, but it's only about $104 now for your brand new prescription sunnies, blue light glasses with prescription lenses. They got it. So go to tomahawkshades.com, promo code USP for 25% off your entire order at tomahawkshades.com. Kenwood beer, the summer of Kenny. Pitts, last year I brought you up some Kenny's.
So good.
You were a big fan. You were a big fan.
I'm still a big fan. I would like them to come to Mass. I would like some shit back up to me. I'm getting thirsty.
You need the Kenny's everywhere. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com and use the Kenny trackers. You've got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. And of course, our newest sponsor, Bino Board. Guys, telling you, Bino is the next big tabletop game, the next big man cave she shed game the next big tailgate game. Pitts, I have been
talking about for a while. You have been talking about for a while.
Uninformally invited to go to one of the Bino majors in Oklahoma. By shout out FCO Bino, Oklahoma on the Instagram. They're trying to get me to go out to OKC and play in their Oklahoma major. Like, this thing's huge. I'm telling you guys, it's huge. Go to BinoBoard.com. Go check it out. They got the boards. They got the shirts. The Team USA, Team Mexico World Cup merch. They got the dad hats, the trucker hats now in stock. And you name it, they got the color. Every color border band you can think of available for your boards. BinoBoard.com and use code BINHOUSP. That's BINHO USP for 10% off your order at BinoBoard.com. Let's get into it, Pitts.
All right.
The latest, as we record this a little later than usual, because we'll get into why it's a little later than usual, but KevinDurant,
yes,
Philadelphia Union part owner, has formally requested a trade to Joe Tsai himself from the Brooklyn Nets. And allegedly, I want to get this right because I will say,
because you trust, you want to be trusted. I got you,
buddy. The buddy right here, his legacy and his reputation is on the line with this tweet. I'm gonna pull it up here. He's one of the Snapback Sports guys.
Okay.
Who they do like 1 million plus on Snapchat. They have a big Snapchat channel. They have 1 million plus subscribers on Snapchat.
Oh, all right.
Jack Settleman. Your legacy is on the line with this, my friend.
You're on the hot seat.
Hot seat is cooking. Now, I want to let everybody know this too. Jack was one of the first people to break the James Harden to Philadelphia news. So that's a good sign for us here. But allegedly, according to his sources, Joel Embiid is making a strong push to get Kevin Durant to Philadelphia.
I mean, I don't want to be... It's not Debbie Downer by any means, because I actually think this is true. And not because, some secret conspiracy bullshit. I just think Kevin Durant said he wants to go to a team that's not Kyrie Irving, that is a one-on. Joel Embiid finds out that the Sixers are probably in that top 3. I think you said 2. I mean, at that point, everyone's got everyone's number. Like, if you play in the same league with people, like your friends, whatnot, you probably hit them up on social media. Like, it's not only that reason, too, but, like, the Sixers are, in my opinion, that one piece away from a big 3 to seriously compete for a finals. And if they get Kevin Durant, I mean, I'm the biggest Celtics fan, Stan truther, and I still believe that series between them two would go 7, and I don't know who wins if Kevin Durant goes there, because that's how much of a difference maker he is. I've been a fan of him since he was drafted into the league in Oklahoma City. It's the only reason I have an Oklahoma City Thunders jersey. My point is, Kevin Durant is that guy where he can go to any team and be a difference maker. Look what he did in Golden State. He goes to Brooklyn. That wasn't his fault. And that's a difference. He's going to rewrite his own history in a way by going to one of these teams. It could be someone else, though. I would like to see 3 other teams or other teams we mentioned in that, too.
So Jack Settleman also says everything is moving, all caps, super fast, with an expectation this could wrap before free agency opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So we record this, it is 5:41 Eastern Time. KD preferred destinations at the moment. Number 1, the Phoenix Suns. Number 2, our Philadelphia 76ers, ladies and gentlemen. And number 3, the Miami Heat.
So he's a big solar guy, huh?
Big solar guy, big he's part of Big Sun.
And I mean, and then the Sixers. I think out of all those teams, the Suns would be the best option.
They are the betting odds favorite right now if you check out the sports books.
I think it just makes sense for the Suns to I would say give up the most and make the biggest push. Whereas the
Because you
Sixers,
will have to trade for Kevin Durant too, everybody listening.
that's
If you didn't know,
yeah.
you have to trade for Kevin Durant. He has 4 years left on his contract.
Which yeah, I think you need to make the biggest push if you're the Suns. If you're the Sixers, what we're saying, like, I don't think Kevin Durant is the guy that will get you. I mean, a guy that you need to sign him immediately to get you there. I think a Kevin Durant type of player, score, whatever, just to feed off of Harden and Embiid. You don't, and especially because you have to trade for him. If this was free agency and he had to sign somewhere, different story. We're having a different conversation. But with what the Sixers have to give up to get him, it's not worth it to get that third guy that you need.
And you barely have any draft picks you can trade because of the Harden trade and previous trades before that, where the Sixers are kind of draft pick capped on trading for like the rest of the 2020s.
Oh, really?
Because in the NBA you can't trade back-to-back first-round picks. It's every other that you have to trade, and the Sixers have traded a lot of those picks away. So, starting next year, the Nets have the Sixers first-round pick. 2025, they have that pick. 2027, I forget if it's the Nets or somebody else. And then I think the Sixers can then trade 2029 is the next pick that they can trade.
Okay, so a little bit.
But like you said, if it was free agency, totally different story. You just throw the bag at Kevin Durant, obviously.
That's a given.
But what you would have to trade with what you have on this roster, I mean, I will gladly drive Tobias Harris back home to New York right now if it means Kevin Durant gets to be a Sixer.
Agreed.
I will put Matisse Thybulle in the back seat with Tobias Harris and drive them to New York. But the thing with it is you're not getting Kevin Durant via trade unless you're trading Tyrese Maxey, and that's where I'm like, because to me, Tyrese Maxey, like, James Harden is James Harden. He's going to be what he's going to be. I still think we didn't see full potential James Harden yet. I could be wrong, and we never see it. I don't think he's going to be superstar, 2017 James Harden in Houston again.
That was his peak, I would say.
I think we could see more of what we saw in those first 5 games of him in a Sixers uniform more consistently with a full season here. Apparently, he started his off-season workout regimen sooner than he ever has. He looks slim as hell right now, so that's a good sign.
Slim, thick with your cute ass.
Tyrese Maxey, though, is like the future star of this franchise. Like, as much as we don't want to admit it as Sixers fans, like, Joel Embiid's 28 years old. We don't know how much more of a prime he has. We don't know how much longer he's going to be able to play the game of basketball at the highest level that he is right now due to just his body being his body. He's 7'2", 280 pounds. The way he moves and maneuvers on the court, you don't know what the timetable is there. Tyrese Maxey is like the next generational superstar for this team. For him to take the leap that he did from year 1 to year 2 is unprecedented. I've never seen an NBA player do that in my lifetime of watching the NBA. Like, it's unreal how good he was this year.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give up on that 2 years in. I've seen the Sixers give up on so many young guys time and time again that when they leave, they continue to succeed and thrive. And I don't want that to be Tyrese Maxey, especially because of where we drafted him. Like, if you redid the 2020 NBA draft, Tyrese Maxey's a top 3 pick.
Oh, I would agree. At this point, yeah.
So, like, that's where I'm hesitant. And yes, it's Kevin Durant, but also Kevin Durant is 34. You don't know how much more of a prime Kevin Durant has. And that's no slight at KD, because KD's one of my favorite players ever.
Yeah.
And I just, he had the Achilles injury. He's had knee issues. How much longer does KD have of a prime that lines up with this window the Sixers have, and how much more do you want to accelerate this window for the Sixers that if you go and trade for KD, you have to win a championship this year.
Yeah, it's like championship
title or bust.
Yeah, it really is. No, like,
because you're literally recreating it's like getting the boys back together for Oklahoma City, but without Russell Westbrook and a
You know,
much better, much more talented, much more athletic Serge Ibaka.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's
No,
like Serge Ibaka. It's
absolutely.
everything Serge Ibaka aspired to be, and
For
then
sure. Oh, absolutely. That's
and
true.
then multiply the hype by 2x.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing is that you need. That phrase too gets used so much, like championship or bust, and title or not, like whatever. In this case, if you bring KD into this system in this process at this stage of his career, like you either need to, I'll say consolation. I'm a big consolation guy, at least like whatever. You got to at least get to the finals. And if you lose, like, all right, you still got another year with him. Maybe get like a draft pick or a weird kind of utility guy that's a niche role that you need to make that next step.
You'd have 2 years to win a title.
Exactly. And then you would have 2 years. And then if 2 years you don't do that, that's even worse. That you had 2 years and you were off, like you were on thin ice to begin with, and then you lose. Like, do you want to do that to yourself for the Sixers after everything you've already gone through with this trust the process? Like, I feel like this is really jumping the shark to go and get KD when you can get probably a KD in free agency or through a better trade that works for both sides, much Sixer side really, and be fine for the next foreseeable future. So you're not on the hot seat, like you're still moving towards something.
Because the wild thing today, I forget if it was Woj or our Lord and Savior Brian Windhorst, who has become Philadelphia's sacred son since about February. Shout out to the Deal Zone. Brian Windhorst, I think it was, said that things are going to get crazy for the Sixers in free agency, and they could have 3 to 5 new players on the roster over the next 3 to 5 days.
Wow.
Which is wild to think about. But Matt and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Realistically, like, you look at the Sixers roster as is right now, you have about 5 guys that are like locked in going into the season next year, and everything else is a question mark. You have Joel Embiid. James Harden's going to sign a low-year, high-volume contract once free agency opens because he opted out of the option year, which I'm fine with because that's going to give us a little more cap flexibility, and we're not strapped to him for 5 years when he's 43.
That's true.
You have Shake Milton, who opted in, or his option got picked up, which I'm totally cool with, because you're not going to get a 6-man type player like Shake Milton on the open market for what you're paying him. Tyrese Maxey, and then who else did we say? It was Joel, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey,
Thibault?
Shake Milton. Well, I think Thibault's gone.
Okay.
And as constructed right now, Tobias Harris is here.
Seth Curry?
Seth's in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's right. They sent him. Yes. Okay.
It was Tobias Harris that I think we said.
Tobias Harris. That was it.
As of now, he's here.
Tobias
But
Harris.
allegedly, he could get traded. But there's been conflicting reports. Like, he could stay, he could go.
Yeah,
but those are the 5 guys right now, as we sit here, that are on the roster that are like, okay, these guys are probably going to be here. Yeah. Everything else, question mark. Thibault's a question mark. Korkmaz, question mark. The backup center, question mark. There's a number of, I will say now, since the draft happened, DeAnthony Melton is a Sixer, which I'm very excited about because they traded their draft pick to get him from Memphis.
Crazy, yeah.
So there's another guy that is a Sixer, but other than that, there's so many question marks. So, and allegedly we're going to sign 37-year-old PJ Tucker to a 3-year contract, which I do not like whatsoever. I like PJ Tucker, the player. I don't like signing him until he's 40 years old.
I think that's so much money for PJ Tucker. I
don't even care about the money. It's a lot of years for PJ Tucker. Yeah. Like, he's gonna be signed until he's 40. What is he, Udonis Haslem?
Yeah. You don't want to go out on like that with your legacy. You don't want to be compared to Udonis Haslem as you're walking out of the league. That's a brutal comparison.
Like, I like PJ Tucker, the player. I think he's a very good player, but I don't think 3 years of 37-year-old PJ Tucker is a wise investment in free agency. But we'll see.
I don't think we'll see. I think we know.
Apparently, the Sixers are linked to Eric Gordon in trades as well from Houston, and we brought this up.
I don't mind that. That's fine.
Brought this up a couple weeks ago. I feel like Daryl Morey's just trying to reassemble the 2018 Rockets.
I remember you said that. Yeah, someone needs to do that.
Chris Paul, come on down.
He's hungry for the finals.
It's like the Sixers are going to turn into Team Rocket.
Rocket power.
Pretty soon we're going to have fucking Meowth as the mascot. It's not going to be Franklin the dog anymore. It's going to be Meowth.
Philadelphia might have a problem.
Instead of the Here Come the Sixers song at the end of every game, it's just going to be the Team Rocket, like, prepare for trouble, make it double.
That would no. Oh, they would be in an uproar.
Free agency is going to be wild, and it's going to open while we're recording, so that's going to be very fun.
I can't wait.
But KD, it's going to be an interesting saga to pay attention to. DJ's Detroit Pistons?
I like my Pistons. I'm not just a Lions Detroit guy. I do like the Pistons too. And I would say the Pistons are one of those teams in the Eastern Conference next year people should not worry about, but keep an eye on.
As long as they change their jersey. That's their biggest flaw right now. Change it back to the classic orange and teal Piston logo with the horse with the flames.
That I agree with, but use the teal as an alternate or like a city statement jersey or something.
I need that as their primary. This whole red and blue generic circle logo stinks.
Yeah, dude, I can make a better logo in my video game than them. So
I mean, a 3-year-old can make a better logo.
It's made of potatoes,
at nap time. They could do it at nap time. Make
favorite part of the day. Yeah, that's what.
Good grief. That Pistons logo needs to come back, though. And even if they want to keep red and blue for whatever reason,
do a different shade.
Do the Piston logo.
Just do different shades.
You're the Pistons. You're not the Detroit Beach Balls.
Nice, got him.
Boom, roasted. The reason this episode's coming out a little later is because Wednesday night I was down in Sea Isle, hanging out at the Jersey Shore for JasonKelce's bartending fundraiser that he does with the Eagles Autism Foundation and Team 62. Had a fucking blast hanging out with John Barchard, Vince Quinn from Bell and the Birdmen. Took some unreal photos of some of the fundraising events that they had where JasonKelce, Travis Kelce, and Jordan Mailata were playing flip cup and beer pong against people who bid the highest for that raffle option. Just an it was an awesome event. It was super fun. Like the energy they were giving it, like they won games of flip cup and beer pong, and JasonKelce and Jordan Mailata were celebrating like they had just won the Super Bowl.
But that's that feeling. I'm with them. Like if you're at that's like the pinnacle of a season or a fan or whatever is to play beer pong, tailgating activities with your favorite players. Like, and guess what? They wish they were out there doing it too. So the fact that you can bring those worlds together, like for such a good cause like that, like that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
It was awesome. Like the vibes were great. The weather was amazing.
Pictures. I will give you props on those pictures.
Those were a blast. I feel like I'm gonna have like arthritis in the fingies after.
Just like absolutely. I mean, because absolutely want to capture every moment.
It was nuts. And just being in the presence of the Kelce brothers and Jordan Mailata, who are just gigantic humans.
Yeah.
Awesome to see that up close and personal. Mailata's huge.
Yeah. How big are the Kelce? Like, all right, rank 1 to 3. Who's the biggest? Who's the whatever?
JasonKelce's definitely the quote unquote smallest. He's only 6'3".
Jesus.
Travis is a whopping 6'5".
That's like, yeah. Oh, man, it's like staying next to Ben.
Jordan Mailata is a whopping 6'8", 346.
That's a house.
He was definitely a little slimmer because it's the off season, but like arms huge.
Oh my God.
I did get an awesome shot of him in Flip Cup, just downing Red Solo Cup, and it's like him in the middle. It's electric. But yeah, it was an awesome event. Like I'm gonna try to go to that every single year.
I want to go to it. It sounds fun.
It's dope.
I think. Hear me out. I think I could take not just one of them, but at least all 3 of them in Flip Cup. I think with my skills back in the day that I continue to work on now and carry over, I believe that I could take those 3. If I got 2 buddies of mine, we could take them in Flip Cup. At least best of 7.
I'll tell you what I was most impressed by.
Okay.
yes, they can down their alcohol of choice that was in the cups.
Obviously.
Their flip speed in Flip Cup was like one done. They were
Really?
one and
Okay.
done flippers, and that was what I was most impressed by.
It's all about consistency.
They were
yeah.
not, trying to find, the right way to. It was like boom, flip, done.
Okay.
It was
All right, see,
wild.
I could do that.
That's what I
Caleb.
was
I
impressed
could do
by.
that. It's like so. I think if you gave me the clock tower, Big Ben, and another dude, I think I could take those three guys.
They went clean sweep against everybody.
Every
Every
I-
team
I do get into the one flips. I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty eye level there. But
Kelce was hitting behind the back beer pong
oh,
shots.
get the court
Weapon.
Wait, which one?
Jason.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I have
Travis had like the ski goggle type
course he did.
sunglasses on,
Gronk-
which is great.
Gronk
Jordan Mailata
wanted-
had Jordan Mailata had actual ski goggles on.
Well, see, that's cool. But if Travis Kelce's got those goggles, he's trying to be Gronk.
He
I don't
didn't
know
have the
what
actual
I just
goggles,
get
but it was like those like typical like riffraff looking
Oh,
like
yeah,
sunglasses.
glasses. Yeah, that's Gronk one.
Electric.
It is electric, but I have to.
They
get
were
that.
great.
Gronk. He's
Like,
a Gronk one.
Their
Jason Kelce.
energy was
But
unmatched.
you need to bring that. Like that's what makes those events so fun. Is that like if they are having the time of their life, then at least Joe Schmo going there just for a good cause is going to have just a good time. And glad he went and be like, oh, I hope they do this again next year. And then that's how they,
Yep.
So
And this is the second time they've done it,
that's
which
good.
is great. Just a kick-ass environment, and like the weather again was great. It was like golden hour almost when I was shooting the photos, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Kelce brothers, shout out Jordan Mailata, and shout out to the Eagles Autism Foundation for just a spectacular event. And this leads us to conjuring up a little bit of fun content on our own pits. Figure we do a little top 5 action.
All right.
This will be brought to you by our homies over at Kenwood Beer. You can go to kenwoodbeer.com and use that Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. Got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. Top 5 NFL players you'd want to play drinking games with.
So
We can
yeah.
do it draft style, or we can just give our 5 through 1 or 1 through 5.
I kind of want to draft it. We're in the
All right.
draft. We just had the NBA draft,
Makes sense. So we'll do it snake style.
All right.
Whoever gets first pick, next person will go 2, 3, and then 4, 5. And we'll do it that way. Being that you consume the alcohols and I don't, I'll let you go number 1.
I'm gonna go with my Lord and Savior Tom Brady for the sheer fact
Interesting.
he can outdrink linemen, and it's been proven. Like there's been stories that Tom Brady can handle his booze and drink like a race, whatever it is. I want Tom Brady, not for the fact obviously because I love him, but like bad set secret weapon that everyone thinks, oh, you're gonna have to take like Rodgers, you can take like someone like a beer drink like that or Gronk. No, I'm going Brady because he's the secret weapon who really can put it down.
Now I have to ask: are we going to exclude the 3 who were at?
Yeah,
the
exclude
event?
him. We already
Okay.
talked about.
So this is in honor of Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and Jordan Mailata. My number 1 pick. I'm gonna go up to the NFC North. I'm gonna take David Bakhtiari.
Okay, good. I like that. I like that.
That man is notorious for downing beers at Bucks games and a weapon of a drinker and chugger. So I'm going to do David Bakhtiari for my first pick, and then my wraparound pick. I'm going to go Lane Johnson.
Okay. Because he likes to have fun. He likes to have fun.
Lane can pave the lane with some ice cold bevs.
Well, he wants to have fun. He's really an expert in where you have fun and where you don't. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm okay. I can give you there. Don't agree with it, but you don't have to agree with everyone. I'm gonna go for my pick, Quentin Nelson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because that man has been notorious for putting down beers, and I think has been on a jumbotron or a couple doing his own chugging
It's a
challenges.
good pick.
So, and dude, offensive linemen need love. That's where you give them love.
That's why I went back-to-back O-lineman.
I don't blame you. It's a great move.
Your third pick.
My third pick. See, I want to go lineman again. I'm gonna go lineman again, hometown, David Andrews, because I've seen that man party after a Super Bowl, and he looks like me after a formal event at school with the hat, the tie is the hat, but it's sideways. You got the shirt like way out to here. Like that's if he's doing that, we'll get along just fine, and especially in like a flip cup or beer pong. I want that guy on my side for sure.
My third pick. Who am I gonna go with next? Man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with. No, you know who I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go with Von Miller.
He's a big attack guy, so he's gonna go at a cup of beer like it's a quarterback and just.
And now he's in Buffalo. Boom. He's gonna jump through
Bills
tables.
Mafia, exactly.
And then sticking in. Let's see. I was gonna go back-to-back Bills players, but I'm gonna not.
Okay.
My next one. Man, this is tough. And see, we can't go Gronk because he's retired right now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like a ninja card there. Everyone wants to party with Gronk. There's a lot of guys though. Like that's the thing is that there's just like who have we seen just put them back like it's nothing,
right?
And that's what you want in a game. You want speed there. There's so many options. I'm trying to think. No. I'm trying to think D lineman too. Like who really is like Pats. Oh, he's retired too.
Oh, you know who I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go quarterback.
Okay.
Gardner Minshew.
That's a great pick. That is a great pick. All right, I'm with you there. That seems like Gardner Minshew is that guy you want to go out and have a drink with because you have no idea where the night's going to end up. Right. And I'm all about that. I mean, you can't hate on that. I love that.
I'm going to go Gardner Minshew. So, Pitts, your fourth and then your fifth pick.
Okay, so it's players, not coaches.
You know what? We should make our last pick a coach.
Okay, so since I'm going to be having my last pick and he's on my mind, I'm going MCDC, baby. I think Dan Campbell would be the best. I mean, the dude already looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin with hair. So, like, it comes with the territory to me. And, after they won 3 last year. They did win 3 games. After all 3 of those wins, he went home and put down a 30 rack at least to celebrate. Easy. So I'm going to go with my guy, MCDC. And then for my fifth and final, I'm thinking of, like, who was on the Jumbotron the most? Like, who would I
we'll make it 5 players and a coach. So we'll do 6 total.
All right. So I'm going to go Mac Jones because I know he can put them back.
I love that you went double quarterback because my next pick is a quarterback.
I love that. Thank God. Because I know I've seen the beer gut. Like, we've seen that Alabama celebration pick with all the 3 quarterbacks in a row. Like, that dude has the best beer gut going. So easily him. And then.
So save your last pick because I'll have my last.
Okay, good.
Here.
Yes.
So my fifth and final player.
Yes.
Get the gat. Give me Joey Burrow.
Oh, my God.
You're telling me Joe Burrow wasn't a dominant flip cup player at LSU? Wasn't hitting the back corner cups in beer pong down there in Baton Rouge? Give me Joe Burrow. Get the gat, baby.
Sinking shots like it was just floater passes to Jamar Chase in the back of the end zone. That dude had a follow through like nobody. That's a good. All right, I
Joe
like
Burrow.
that pick. I like that pick.
And then my coach pick will be. This is tough. There's so many like decent ones, but then like some sneaky ones. Let's see. NFL coaches.
Now that we're doing this, I for some reason have Asher Roth. I love college stuck in my head. So, I mean, that song just goes down in history. So I will give you that.
You know who my coach is going to be?
I
It's Doug Peterson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
P.
Vrabel. I thought you were going to say Vrabel.
That's a good pick too. I'm gonna go Dougie P. I've seen him crush a couple in the parade. You know, he's got kids. You're telling me the kids haven't had a little house party here and there.
Well, where do you think he gets his beer from? Just take it from
Dougie
the kids.
P. Give me Dougie P. Vrabel's a good pick.
Vrabel, yeah.
That's a nice sneaky honorable mention. Who is your final player?
My final player. I've put this thought into it. I would say JJ Watt. However, as the younger brother, I tend to be more of a fan of the younger brother. So I'm going TJ because that man loves to get after it as well. And also, I mean, I feel like he's a more comfortable and looser, like, of the two. And I'm going with TJ Watt there.
TJ Watt.
What?
All right, so to recap our list, Pitts, you have Tom Brady, Quentin Nelson, David Andrews, Mac Jones, TJ Watt, and Motor City Dan Campbell. I've got David Bakhtiari, Lane Johnson, Von Miller, Gardner Minshew, Joe Burrow, and Dougie P.
Not bad. That's a nice list.
That sounds like a fun party in general.
That would be so fun. Pitsy Palooza with everyone. Who's in? I can make it happen. You just need to show up, and I will make everything else happen.
Dude, just imagine Lane Johnson and TJ Watt stone cold cheersing.
Dude, that's dreams coming true. That would be. I would walk out and just be like, what? Mac
Honorable I think the two obvious honorable mention retired players, nobody even has to question it. It's Gronk and Pat McAfee.
Oh, McAfee would have been that's not even close.
That's easy bucks right there.
Dude, I saw Pat McAfee slam beers with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. If you're hanging with Stone Cold, you can hang with the best of them.
So those are our top 5 players and coach that we want to play drinking games with. Brought to you by the homies over at Kenwood Beer. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenny's on tap in the Philadelphia area. Got to be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. Pitts, have you been consuming the baseball this summer?
Strictly Sox, but yes, I have. As you have seen my setup down here, I have put the.
Because I know when we hung out last year, you were like, I really want to get back into baseball.
It's just the Sox are so unwatchable. I mean, they really just were so unwatchable last year. It was not even worth putting on my TV. Where this year I'm in a new groove, like with everything, and I want every screen down here to have some sort of purpose. So, my mom doesn't use her cable box, 20 something hours of the day. So I put on the Red Sox on that TV and I just have it on, I watch Sox in 2, obviously, in case I missed anything. And I'm not going to lie. It doesn't feel like the Yankees are so ahead of them.
Right.
Because of how the Sox are playing. Like, when someone told me that they're 10 games out, I was like, how? Like, the Sox are a wagon. Granted, the Yankees are too. I'm not trying to bash them. It's
one of those weird things where it doesn't feel like the Yankees, like, of old, and they were dominant. Like,
yeah, like, it's like,
they're
the Yankees
crushing right now, and I feel like nobody's really talking about it.
Exactly. Like, I see, my New York fans tweet all rise when Judge hits a home run, but, like, that's really it that I've heard from the Yankees. Like, are they being silent because they don't want to jinx it? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, like, I can't think of a reason why a New York Yankee fan is not in my face telling me that the Yankees are going to win their 28th ring. they're just like really sitting on it and like patiently waiting for that decline.
And this doesn't feel like the team that was going to do it either.
That's the other thing. Like,
It
if
felt
you
like
told
one
me
of those
this
like
team,
bridge teams.
yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't get you get it really. I mean, because when I watch the Red Sox, yeah, they have their issues like every other team does with bullpen and whatever. But like, if you look at the stats over the past 40 games, or like, I mean, they only won they won 43 games already. Like, I don't know, they seem like a completely different team and a better team, and I think that's what makes their division more interesting, because they lost to the Blue Jays 2 games in a row, which I would say would have been their toughest challenge. And but they still don't like feel out of it. Like, it's weird. I don't know. It's just weird.
That's how I feel with the Phillies, though. I brought this up on the most recent episode of the pod that I recorded earlier this week. Even though the Phillies are 8 games out of first place, and going into this Braves series, they were 3 games out of second place, it still feels like the NL East is up for grabs. Like, it's June. The All-Star break isn't here yet. It still feels... Or, I'm sorry, the Phillies are going into it, they were 3. Now they're 5 games back because they've dropped the first 2 games of this Braves series. The most important series of the season, boys. Granted, Bryce Harper got his thumb drilled by Blake Snell, but it still feels like there's moves to be made for this Phillies team that can propel them into an NL East hunt. Because we've seen the Mets time and time again. They get off to these hot starts, and sure, it's gone much further this year than it has in years past, but they fall off. They were they were up 7 with 17 to play in 2007.
I went, yeah. I was at Cooperstown for that, watching with Mets fans, and I had my David Wright jersey on, and we were watching it, and they're like actually heartbroken, and just like I could see a family fight like starting right there in that hat store. But I'm the Mets fan, but just a fan because I love David Wright. So I'm like, oh, that's awful. All right, what's sucked? And I just went on my day like nothing. And this family is just like about to cry. You can see that, you can just envision the fight at dinner that's gonna happen.
Love it.
Like that was great. That for you, I feel like that is exactly
that was like Christmas morning for like 17 straight days.
Oh my god! Like,
watching the Mets collapse the way they did was euphoric. I was in 7th grade. I would rush home from school. That is literally a mile down the road, and boom, we're turning the Phillies on. We're watching 49,000-year-old Jamie Moyer pitch dominantly.
We have Jamie Moyer this year. His name's Rich Hill.
He's the best.
It's
Jamie
awesome.
Moyer was the best. But I mean, like, the Phillies are 39 and 37. And I can't tell you the last time that it was June 30th, and it felt like the Phillies were over 500. There have been moments over the past couple years where they were, but it didn't feel that way. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to get to our typical pickup prop of the week that we do, and that's guessing the NL East run differential, which you have no idea, so you'll be able to guess it thoroughly.
Nice. I can't wait.
But I think this is a 3-team division race, and the biggest thing is Dave Dombrowski just has to go out and really do, especially now, seeing, the way that the Phillies have struggled with runners in scoring position with no Bryce Harper in the lineup. You have to do what the Braves did last year when Ronald Acuna Jr. got hurt, and go trade for 2 to 3 outfielders or work the waiver wire and get guys in here on expiring contracts to kind of platoon in the outfield to get you until mid-August, early September, when Bryce Harper can allegedly come back.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what you need to fill in the gaps there, and especially with a team that you're not out of it. You just said it. Like, you're in that go mode, like, we need to make a push, we need to do something. Maybe a little rash, maybe a little bit of thought put into it, but like, you need to replace him for the near future. And if you can do it with your farm system, maybe do it a little waiver wire. But also, like, I mean, the first trade just happened the other day in the MLB. The trade deadline is a month
away.
Yeah, a month away.
End of July.
Like, you can do
still at the All-Star
lot.
break.
And that's the thing, you still have the All-Star break, so guys are going to rest up and, recover from any ailments that they have. So, I wouldn't say go crazy trying to make something happen, but you got to do something because you don't have Bryce Harper.
And I like what they've done so far. They went out and got a guy from Cleveland who is, very good defensively. I don't like the jersey number they gave him because they gave him Cole Hamels jersey number. What are we doing?
I would be annoyed
this
too.
is the first guy to wear number 35 since Cole Hamels was traded in 2015. Not good vibes.
No.
But
We'll
he's a
have to
very
live up
good defensive outfielder. He's quick. He can really track everything in the outfield. So fine move. You got him off waivers from the Guardians. The other move they did, they called up Derek Hall from Lehigh Valley, and this dude just absolutely smokes baseballs.
Awesome.
Tank shots.
We need that more.
Need
more of those.
The way he hits home runs, they go halfway across the map and they land in McCovey Cove from Lehigh Valley. He smokes them. So they called him up. I like that move too. But they also have other moves they have to make outside of the outfield because Zach Eflin's now on the injured list. You have to go get a starter. Ranger Suarez has been really up and down this year. Do you have to go get 2 starters? And you still need bullpen help because the bullpen additions you made in the offseason absolutely stink. But one thing that I need to continue as we record this on June 30th, it is the final day of what the month of June should just be renamed Schwarber. Because Kyle Schwarber crushes in the month of June.
Kyle from Weymouth?
Kyle from South Philly. Kyle from Delco now.
Okay,
He's Kyle from Delco.
I don't. Okay.
Pitts, can you guess how many home runs Kyle Schwarber has hit in the month of June this year?
I'm gonna go with 12.
You're very close. I'm pretty
really. I'm getting
very
good at
close.
These numbers. I'm getting. Good at these
I'm
numbers.
pulling up the stat. It's either 11 or 12.
Maybe I'm not just a words guy. I don't know. Maybe.
But
that's pretty good. Okay.
He dominates in the month of June.
That's very good. That was not just a red. That's a good number to have go for a month of action, and it's Kyle Schwarber too.
He should be an all-star. He should be an all-star.
You know what? I'll vote for him. I voted today for the all-stars. I'll vote for him tomorrow.
I'm gonna read you the MLB home run leaders.
Okay.
So far this year, Aaron Judge leading the way with 29.
Okay.
Yordan Alvarez has 23 for Houston.
Speaking of hell of a month. Hell of a couple
Stud.
weeks. Stud.
Tied with Yordan is the pride of Millville, New Jersey, born in Vineland, Mike Trout. Tied for 4th, all he's good for, Pete Alonso. All he's good for is hitting home runs. And tied with Pete Alonso is Kyle Schwarber with 22. Kyle Schwarber's tied for the National League lead in home runs this year with 22 bombs.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
And this is not just a 2022 thing. In 2021, Kyle Schwarber hit 16 home runs in the month of June. He just dominates in the month of June.
Something about the weather, man. Something about the month. I don't know.
He just I'm gonna read you. This is from ML or the Phillies fan-sided account here. Kyle Schwarber in the month of June, has him in Mike Trout and Babe Ruth territory. Okay? According to High Heat Stats, only Schwarber and Mike Trout have 100-plus walks and 100-plus RBIs in their last 162 games.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Tuesday night, he extended his on-base streak to 31 games, and he now has the longest streak by a Philly for getting on base since Chase Utley's 35-game on-base streak in 2006.
Dude, Kyle Schwarber, man, don't sleep on him. He is a very good player.
Now, here's the one that you're going to love. You're a big
fun.
home runs guy.
Yeah.
According to Jason Stark, my man Jason Stark, Schwarber has a career home run ratio in June of 9.93 at-bats per home run. And it's the best in all of modern baseball history. Better than Babe Ruth.
Better than that's that's history. He is number one
in modern baseball history. He has the best home run at bats per home run ratio in all of modern baseball, which is since 1900.
So basically, 1 out of every 10 at bats, Kyle Schwarber in the month of June, right? Kyle Schwarber is going to hit a home run.
Yeah,
that should be a prop bet right there.
Kyle Schwarber
Make it interesting.
loves the month of June.
Here's something that you should do on July 30th. What's that like in July?
There you go.
And I don't think a decline is what you guys need, but is that the case? I don't even know. That's gonna be something to look into.
It's nuts.
For sure.
He dominates.
That is
June.
still nuts, though.
The months on your calendar now read January, February, March, April, May, Schwarber, July, August, September,
Basically,
October, November, December.
Rename the month after him.
Yeah.
Just do it.
June is Kyle. Kyle is June. The month of June is now for Kyle.
That's
and not you sicko Kyles who bash your heads through walls and drink Monster. It's for the sophisticated ones with good facial hair.
That's just base. There it is. There it is. I was waiting for it because you drink Monster and bang your head into walls when Philly sports.
I drink hashtag not a sponsor rain, but you know I'm also not getting Cheeto dust on my hands while playing Call of Duty like the unsophisticated Kyles. They're sophisticated and non-sophisticated.
You can't eat anything cheesy when you're gaming. It's gonna get into the controller. You're gonna ruin the controller.
Terrible.
And then that's another $70 you have to spend on that, where you could be, at least using that for something valuable.
Right. And sometimes, Pitts, when you go to the pickup marketplace, you don't have to spend any money. This is our prop bet of the century as NBA free agency has begun. It's the NL East Run Differential, brought to you by Pickup. Go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports, including the NL East Run Differential for June and for the entire season for the NL East. You rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. Go to playpickup.com, start playing those headlines. Pitts, oddly enough, the division standings are where everybody stands in the highest to lowest NL East run differential.
Okay.
The New York Mets, where do you think they sit with their run differential as they are sitting at 47-29 on the season?
Would they be last?
They are in first, so they have the most positive run differential.
Oh, okay. They're in first. Okay.
What do you think their run differential is?
I'll go 7.5.
So basically, it's like the amount of runs they've scored this year subtracted from the amount of runs their opponents have scored against them in games. So it'd be a flat number.
8.
They are at plus 57.
Okay, well I got to get better at this. I'm a football guy. Let's merge it with baseball. All right. I get in the numbers now. Let's try it again.
The Atlanta Braves in second place at 44-32, 3 games back in the NL East. What is their run differential looking like as the second most positive?
47.
Very close. 49.
Okay, we're getting better.
Better. We're on track.
A little intro tutorial question. There we go.
Philadelphia Phillies 39-37, 8 games back in the division.
It's not bad.
Where does their run differential sit?
I'm gonna go 43.
I wish. They are at plus 30. But still, the most positive I can remember them being over the last 5 seasons at this point in the season.
Okay, so there you go.
The Miami Marlins at 34-40, 12 games back in the division. How are they looking?
I'm gonna go minus 12.
They are the funniest and most ridiculous franchise. They are 6 games under 500, 12 games back in the division, and have a plus 5 run differential. This is Matt and I's favorite thing. Matt and I's favorite thing to look at when we go over the NL East is the Marlins, because somehow they're terrible, but they have a positive run differential.
That's what I mean. I went kind of safe with the 12 negative. I thought, see, that's the thing. When you think last place team, they can't be positive. How is that possible? That's nonsense.
Second to last place is the Marlins. Last place, the stolen franchise, Washington Nationals.
Oh, I forgot about them.
At 29-49, 19 games back in the division. Where do you think their run differential
here we go.
sits?
I'm going to go minus 27.
From your lips to their praying deity of choice's ears, the stolen franchise sit at minus 109.
I honestly thought I got that right because the way you were hyping that up, I was like, yup, we finally hit it. Let's go. And then That's egregious.
Which, oddly
What?
enough, is
How
not
that
the
possible?
that's not the
How is that not
worst in all of
possible?
baseball.
That's not the worst.
Do you want to know who the worst is?
I need to know who the worst
The
is.
worst is the worst team in baseball, which I need the Pittsburgh Pirates to start losing games and be the worst team in baseball.
Sports team in history, Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay.
The Oakland A's at 25-52 sit at minus 114 in the run differential column.
Jesus Christ.
There are a few other teams. The Kansas City Royals at minus 103. And the Pittsburgh Pirates somehow in third place in the NL Central, but only by 3.5 games. They are in third place, 5 games under 500, but have a minus 101 run differential. That, honestly, to me, makes even more less sense than the Marlins being plus 5.
I really want to.
How do they have 30 wins, but a negative 101 run differential?
Negative triple digits.
Yeah.
I don't get.
That makes
that's
zero
hurting
sense.
My head. That's really hurting my head. Because that's the thing is that I expect the Marlins, who, in my opinion, may be the worst team in baseball, but they're plus 5, and I feel like they have what. And that's
they have some power hitters, but it's hilarious that they're plus 5 and 6 games under 500, and the Pirates are
3.
They're 15 games under 500. They're 30-45, 13 games back in their division, and they have a minus 101 run differential.
Jesus Christ, that makes no sense.
And they're not in last place in their division. The Cubs and Reds are behind them.
Well, the Reds are the most tragic team this year.
It's unbelievable.
That's their only good spot is Joey Votto. That is their only glimmer of hope. Other than that, the Reds are a lost cause. Absolute lost cause. That makes no sense to me. Nothing makes sense anymore.
It's wild. But that's our NL East run differential and baseball run differential look. Also, I'll give you this. The most positive run differentials in all of baseball. The Yankees at plus 151.
Okay, I was going to guess them.
And the Dodgers at plus 129.
Okay.
Everyone else in double digits in terms of positivity.
Okay.
That's all we got for you guys. NBA free agency has started. Let's see if anything has happened. We'll go to
Jokic. Something did happen. Jokic signed a supermax with the Nuggets.
Fuck
240. Let me see. Dwayne Dedmon to the Miami Heat.
Okay.
Devon Reed, 2-year deal to the Nuggets. No, I literally saw
Javon Carter to Milwaukee. Wes Matthews to Milwaukee.
Mo Bamba.
The Sixers have signed Daniel House.
I saw that.
I like that. He's notorious. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that got caught having friends in his hotel room in the bubble and then got sent home from the bubble. Former Houston Rocket.
Our guy, speaking of former Houston Rockets, PJ Tucker, 3 years, 33.2.
Official. Who was that from Woj?
Yeah, Athletic. The Athletic.
Okay. Free agent guard Trevelyan Queen, who I've never heard of, has signed a deal with the Philadelphia 76ers.
DeAndre Jordan to the Nuggets.
Thank God. Oh man, that's a sigh of relief right there.
Jalen Brunson, $110 million to the Knicks.
Shout out to my boy, Villanova's finest.
Malik Monk to the Kings again. Booker signed.
Bradley Beal has signed the Supermax with the Washington Wizards. 5 years, $251 million.
Tragic. Well, you know what? All that means at the end of the day is that money over championships, if you're going to take that with the Wizards. Because what do the Wizards have to offer? Anything. Anyone.
You said The Athletic tweeted about PJ Tucker?
It says... where is it?
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So the Sixers have signed 3 guys.
That was quick. There you go. That's how you break the show.
PJ Tucker, officially a 76er. Daniel House, officially a 76er. And...
what's his...
Trevelyan Queen officially a 76er. So 3 new Sixers. They were not lying. The Sixers should have 3 to 5 new players in the next 3 to 5 days. They've got 3 new players right now, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news.
That's how we do
Breaking news. That's how it's done. That's how you end a show. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI. We're going to be tweeting about NBA free agency like madmen this weekend, and everything that goes down. You're going to want to come to us at Underground PHI, Twitter and Instagram. Follow Pitsy on the Twitter machine at Pat_Pitts. What do you got coming up, Pitts? You got Loaded Box. You got your new wrestling pod.
Yeah, so we got Loaded Box coming up. My co-host, tell me if you heard this story before, had something to do, so we couldn't record. So he went to Denver, and I held down the fort. We took a little bit of a, mental health break to kind of rejuvenate here. And we're going to come back after the 4th. I did a mock draft Monday by myself, and then we took the little vacay, so we're going to be back after the 4th. And the wrestling pod, we recorded the first episode, and we put it up online, so that's out on Apple, Spotify, and another place, I think Amazon. But then here's the thing, Kyle. We recorded the second one, and then something, if you happened with Vince McMahon, and if you've heard that story, and when it happened, before that story broke, my co-host and I were praising Vince McMahon on how great he is to the fans and how a story there conflicted. So like, you know what? We want to stay in everyone's good graces. We're just starting out. So we used it as a practice run, and we're going to get back when, get this again, my co-host is done with something else of her own responsibilities, so I can come back. So yeah, it's up there.
You'll love this too as an NBA guy. You're a big Lou Dort fan, aren't you? From the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Just got a 5-year, $87.5 million deal from OKC.
That's ridiculous. Like, the money being thrown around right now is ridiculous. So,
and
wow.
To go along with the reassembling the Rockets, Trevelyan Queen was signed by the Rockets once Daryl Morey left.
We're just really connecting dots here on the show. Like this.
Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Follow Pitts on Twitter at Pat_Pitts. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Pitt's going to be doing some Westworld recaps on there.
Just came out. It was lit. A lot of fun.
Bong. And, of course, subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Click the bell icon. Leave a comment down below. Share the videos with your friends. Really, really helps us elevate this thing to the next level by supporting our YouTube channel. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro, Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, Mark Ronchetti CPA LLC, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. And of course, Tomahawk Shades, Kenwood Beer, Pickup, and Bino Board. All of their information linked in the show notes if you're listening on audio, and on YouTube if you're watching on the tubes. We'll be back next week, we'll be back on the weekend for the Solo Dolo show. Matt will be back in studio next week, and we'll be talking free agency. We'll be talking a whole lot of stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. So stay locked and loaded with Underground Sports Philadelphia. This has been episode number 442. For Pat Pitts, I'm KB. Till next time, we're getting the heck out of here, and we're signing off. Peace.